Text.
How to access and troubleshoot YouTube on an LG Smart TV.
People sit facing a large LG Smart TV with the menu open on the screen.
It's easy to watch YouTube on your LG Smart TV. Many LG Smart TVs come preloaded with the YouTube TV app. For compatible LG Smart TVs, turn on the TV and make sure it is connected to the internet.
The TV turns on and in the settings menu Wi-Fi connection is shown.
You should see the YouTube app in the WebOS launcher bar.
The user scrolls across the bottom menu bar to the YouTube icon.
If your LG TV is not preloaded with the YouTube app, installing it is simple. With your TV on, grab your LG remote control and press the home button.
A remote control appears and the home button is circled in the middle left.
For WebOS 6.0, select Apps on the Apps List heading.
On the TV screen, the Apps icon under Apps List menu bar is circled.
For WebOS 5.0 and below, select LG Content Store on the home tray.
On the TV screen, the LG Content Store icon is circled on the bottom menu bar.
Click on the search icon at the top of the screen. Then enter YouTube and click Search.
The user types YouTube in the keyboard that appears on screen and clicks Search.
When you see the YouTube app in the search results, click on it. Then select Install.
The page for the YouTube app opens and a circle appears around the Install button on the left.
When installing it, be sure to accept the user agreements.
The user agreements appear and the user clicks a Select All and Agree button at the bottom.
Some features may not work if these agreements have not been accepted. Note that for WebOS 5.0 and 6.0, LG account sign-in is required to install and update apps.
The LG account sign-in page appears. The user selects Sign In on TV.
If you do not have an LG account yet, you can create one through the LG ThinQ app on your mobile phone, or you can go to us.lgappstv.com on your PC browser.
A mobile phone appears and the user logs into the ThinQ app. They create account.
To sign in on WebOS 6.0, click on the profile icon at the top right of the screen, then select Login.
On a TV screen the user clicks the profile icon. A circle appears around Login on the drop-down menu.
For other WebOS versions, press Settings, then click on the vertical dots, then General, then Account Management, and select your login method on the screen.
The user proceeds as described on the TV screen.
Once installed, press the Launch button to start YouTube.
A circle appears around the Launch button on the YouTube screen.
Signing in is not required to use the app. If YouTube is not showing or cannot be searched, verify the location setting.
In a TV settings, the user goes to Location, Zip Code. A group watches a soccer game on TV.
Streaming content is viewable based on licenses contracted between owners and providers.
A parent and child watch a cartoon.
If your TV's location settings are incorrect, some content may not be available. For WebOS 6.0, on your LG remote control, press Settings.
A remote control appears with a circle around the Settings button in the lower right. The user proceeds as described on the TV screen.
Then click on the vertical dots, then General, then System, then Location, then Country. Make sure it is set to USA and not others. For WebOS 5.0 and below, on your LG remote, press Settings.
A remote control appears with the Settings button circled on the middle right. The user proceeds as described on the TV screen.
Then click on the vertical dots, then General, then Location, then Country. Make sure it is set to USA and not others. Problems or issues with the YouTube app usually fall within two categories: problems launching YouTube or problems with YouTube playback. Let's go over both.
YouTube launches on a TV.
For problems launching YouTube, or in any situation where the internet is involved, resetting your network should be the first step you take. To do this, unplug your modem, router, and TV.
A user unplugs and plugs in the devices.
Then plug them back in the same order: modem first, router second, TV third. Then verify that you are connected to the internet.
The TV settings screen shows Wi-Fi connection.
YouTube is supported on LG TVs with WebOS 3.0 and higher. Issues can arise if the app has been updated, but the TV's firmware has not.
A TV screen shows updating YouTube.
For WebOS 3.0 through 4.5, go to TV settings, click the vertical dots, then General.
A user clicks the TV settings button on a remote and proceeds as described on the TV screen.
Scroll down to About This TV and check for updates. If an update is available, click Download and Install. Then click Allow Automatic Updates. For WebOS 5.0 and higher, go to TV Settings.
A settings icon on the app list bar is circled on a TV screen. The user proceeds as described.
Click the vertical dots, then Support, and then Software Update. Sometimes files or caches can become corrupt. Deleting the app will remove those files. Go to the Edit App List icon.
An Edit App List icon is circled on the App List menu bar.
An Edit Mode window will appear. Then scroll to the YouTube tab. Click the trash bin above it. And click Yes to remove the app. Once the YouTube app has been deleted, go to the LG Content Store to install it again.
The Content Store opens. The user proceeds as described.
In the Content Store, enter YouTube in the search bar. Click on YouTube in the results, and click on Install. You will see the YouTube tab appear in the launcher.
The User Agreements page appears again.
Make sure you've accepted all user agreements. Note that not all features will work if these agreements are not accepted. For WebOS 3.0 through 4.5, click the vertical dot.
The user clicks the dots on the right-hand side, then proceeds as described on the menu.
Then General, then About This TV, and then User Agreements. For WebOS 5.0 and higher, go to TV Settings, click the vertical dots, then Support, then Privacy and Terms, and then User Agreements. If none of these steps help, then the last step you can try is to factory reset the TV.
A spinning wheel of dots on a TV screen.
For WebOS 3.0, on your LG remote control, press Settings.
A remote control appears and the Settings button is circled in the middle right. The user proceeds on the TV menu.
Then General, then Reset to Initial Settings. For WebOS 5.0, on your LG remote control, press Settings.
A button in the middle right. The user proceeds on the TV menu.
Then click on the vertical dots, then General, then Reset to Initial Settings. For WebOS 6.0, on your LG remote control, press Settings.
A button on the bottom right. The user proceeds on the TV menu.
Then click on the vertical dots, then General, then System, then Reset to Initial Settings. The maximum resolution supported by YouTube on WebOS TVs is 2160p, provided it is YouTube registered content. In addition, any 4K content run on YouTube via a UHD Smart TV's web browser in full screen mode will be played back in 4K quality. YouTube requires specific internet speeds to play content properly.
A spinning wheel of dots on a screen.
If YouTube is routinely experiencing buffering or lagging, verify your internet connection speed with a speed test.
A speed test on the screen counts up megabytes per second.
YouTube recommends a sustained speed of 20 megabits per second for 4K content. For HD 1080p, the recommendation is a sustained 5 megabits per second. HD 720p requires sustained 2.5 megabits per second. SD 480p requires sustained 1.1 megabits per second, and SD 360p a sustained 0.7 megabits per second. If your internet speed test is not showing the results, check your network as described earlier in this video. If your connection is slower than you expect, contact your internet service provider for help.
A woman dials a phone.
Note that the following conditions can affect streaming quality, even with a strong internet connection: Wi-Fi performance, time of day, how your ISP connects to YouTube, and how many devices are on your network.
A user plugs in a router. A user performs a web search on the YouTube Help Center page.
You can learn more about troubleshooting YouTube, including diagnosing and resolving YouTube error messages and much more, by visiting the Fix a Problem page in YouTube's Help Center at support.google.com/YouTube. For further assistance, you can easily find our contact information on the LG.com website. Go to the support menu to ask us more questions.
This video is provided solely for informational and instructional purposes. This video is not intended to replace the product's owner's manual. For complete information on product use, setup, or assembly, you should consult the owner's manual and any other documents provided with the product. The information contained in this video may contain inaccuracies or typographic errors and is subject to change without notice. LG is not responsible for any direct or indirect damages or injuries that might occur while you are using or relying upon the information provided in this video. Depending upon its model, your product may differ in appearance from the product shown in the video. Also note that for instructional purposes the video may depict the device operating faster than in reality. For any further questions concerning your product, please contact LG.com or LG Customer Information Center. This video shall not be copied, distributed, or reproduced, in whole or in part, without the prior written authorization of LG Electronics. Copyright 2022 LG Electronics, all rights reserved. LG is a trademark of LG Electronics Company Ltd. Any other company names, product names, and marks are the property of their respective owners.